All right, there we go.
All right, we got UFC 312 in Australia this weekend. Me and Gipper's picks gonna give y'all some picks this weekend for UFC. This is our first time ever doing it, so don't judge us. Trial and error. Um, I don't know how I got all to my finishes, but literally, I see everyone that I have this week going by KO. The first one that I have would be Cody Steele by KO, and that's plus 250. He's from the Dana White Contender Series. He has an orthodox stance. He's 7-0 in UFC, 4 TKOs, and one by sub, and the other one's by decision. Just with his power, I think he can get it done on the knockout side of this one. But I mean, it is his first time in the UFC, so it could go either way. But I will be playing his KO prop on this one.
Okay, and you got Cody Steele, you said, right?
Yeah, Cody Steele.
Okay, I could. I mean, I could see that fight going either way, but I would lean Cody Steele. Um, but my first play is actually going to be, um, I think Wong gets back on track. Um, and the only I want to take her by knockout, which is like a plus 225, but I could also see it going long. So I'm not sure. I might look to see what over 1.5 rounds is combined with the money line. And if that's even money, then I would go that route with her instead. I just think she gets back on track. I'm not sure how you feel about that one.
Oh, she has to get back on track. The way she got embarrassed last fight, I think she closed in a minus 600 favorite,
Yeah.
something crazy ridiculous, and she got embarrassed. She just didn't stand a chance in that fight. Um, so I mean, she does have to get back on track here, and with her being the knockout artist that she is, to get her back on track would be by finish by KO, and I think that put her back in where she needs to be. But I hopefully that she doesn't gets better on the grappling game and everything like that, because that's where she was weak last game.
Okay.
And to bring to my next point, what I've have seen on UFC, it's not a system play in in my system yet, but I've have thought about just across the board any Brazilian fighter like a plus 500 underdog. I think that I might want to start just playing maybe $10 on that, just because I don't know what it is. I've looked at the numbers, and anytime a Brazilian's plus like 500 or more, they somehow win. I don't know what it is, but that might moving forward. I might be moving on a system play on that, just like $10 on those plays too.
All right. I'm gonna try and pull up a document if I can figure it out.
Good. Mm,
Okay,
nice.
that's not the one I wanted yet, but
And while you're pulling that up, I do have Wong by KO and TKO by plus 225. I am also
you
on
have
that prop up.
okay. No, not that one either.
I like that play also.
Yeah, I think I just deleted that too.
Not a problem.
Okay. So here's a couple of fights that we could like go off of. We've already touched base on the Cody Steele fight. I don't know if you have anything on Michaela versus
I,
Gisette.
I don't have
Um,
anything on that one.
the only thing I would say is I would be more inclined to take a shot with the dog just because it's a plus 200. That's
Mm.
another fight that I think is a 50-50 fight. And
I don't have
then
much to say on either one of them fighters.
and then the next fight is, I mean, it's both their first time in the UFC, but I believe Jubilee's taking this like on a one week notice.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be. I'm using that Quinlan cell kill in a parlay, but the odds are gross. Like the
Right.
odds for him are like minus 600 now, and like they don't like DraftKings doesn't even know how he's gonna win because he's like a plus 250 for decision, and then it's similar odds for both KO and submission also.
Right.
So it's I mean I don't even know how to take him. So and then we got
I like this one.
oh you want me to add that one back up?
Yeah, that's fine. I the way Justin fought last time, he got embarrassed really. So he needs a huge bounce back too. I do have him by KO. Not it. I'm not that confident in it just because who he's going against, but he does have the knockout power to catch someone, and I mean he's got to do something in the UFC to spark some interest to keep him in there right now, and that's where I think he is. Um, and he does have some good KO power, and I think he might be able to catch him one. So his KO prop is at plus 175 that I got it at.
Yeah, I think I would probably just take him on the money line because it's a plus 120. So I think if I do anything with this fight, it's going to be Tafa just on the money line. But I definitely, I mean, I can definitely see a KO happening in this fight.
Do you think they're gonna wrestle at all in this fight?
I think I think Teixeira might try to. Don't
He
you
might.
or no?
I, no, 100% he's gonna shoot for the takedown. I don't see Justin trying to do stay. He wants a stand up fight, so that's where he
Right,
might be able to catch him. But I
right,
mean, I I just don't see it. I don't see it going to a takedown. But if anyone's gonna shoot for a takedown, it's gonna be Tariff.
right.
Or uh
Teixeira,
to, to share. It's not
right.
gonna be Justin. He likes to. I mean, his last fight was with Walker, and Walker submitted him, Johnny
Right.
Walker's brother, and
Yes.
I'm a fan of him. I think he might be able to catch him. Not sure which round, but if he doesn't get the KO, it's going to be by a decision. If he puts enough, gets enough points,
And
and then
then
in the co-main event,
that's
um,
that's my favorite fight.
it is
And
it now because what I sent you earlier on Twitter. I didn't know that Suarez was the Great Khali's. Was it daughter?
I think so.
The daughter. I
Or
didn't know that. And not to say that it just sparks more interest of her having a background of fighting and being in the WWE, and then now she's doing it on the UFC. So I'm not saying that she's gonna win, but I do see this maybe going to decision, and I would go with Wangley on this one.
well, that's one of my favorite props is this right here, or one of my favorite singles is Wiley Zhang over 3.5 rounds. I got it at a minus 118, but the lowest I see now is a minus 124. So that's my favorite prop. That's my favorite single of the whole card. And then I've got this is one of my parlays too. I've got Wiley Zhang to start third round, and then DDP over 3.5 rounds, and
Great
that's a
look.
minus 116. So that's probably going to be the little two-piece parlay that I give out on DTL tomorrow.
Perfect. I mean, that's
Is what
that's.
I'm thinking.
I mean, the way I think the co-main event's probably going to go to the decision in the main event if Duplessis doesn't knock out Strickland coming forward, then it's probably going to go to a decision also. I think that they're going to stand up and fight unless Duplessis does strike shoot for a takedown. Just the way Strickland comes forward, I mean, he likes to come forward and he doesn't get knocked out, so he might get caught, he might not, but I think it's going to be I wasn't that much intrigued to this card, but now that I've looked into it and everything like that, I'm actually pumped up for it. And it's going to be actually a great card this Saturday.
Yeah, and and then you saw the one single that I had, or I don't. It's not really a single. It's more of a 2-piece same game parlay. And I'll just pull it up with this, and that was Duplessis money line and over 2.5 rounds. I got this on DraftKings under same game parlay at a plus 105. And what's kind of ironic is Danny Brasco gave this out this morning on the early edge also, and I didn't know he was going to do it, and now it's a plus 100. But I don't know if, but I don't think you have that, right?
I would have to look at this one. I probably would be able to play it, just the money line and over the rounds. But
Okay.
I think the way FanDuel would be give it out would be over 3.5 rounds.
Okay.
Mm.
And
I
then
even in all the bets that I've given out, I haven't put them in myself. I will tomorrow after work. I'll go put them in, and the numbers may change. So I wrote
right.
them down at that number that I gave them out. But
Yeah. And then the
and I can
one other
say
one. Go ahead.
that my friend did say something about Mississippi is moving to online gambling, so hopefully they
Well,
can
that'd be
get it
nice.
online.
Yeah. It used to suck when I used to have to drive to the casino like almost every day. Like the closest one was like 30 minutes away that had a sport book,
Right,
but it
man.
was crazy. And then I did place one wager on underdog. I don't know if you have that down
I
there.
I don't, but I did see something that I did like on there. Um,
This is what I played. I played Strickland over 120.5 significant strikes, and then I combined it with the Wiley Zhang and Suarez fight to start the third round, and it was like a plus 110.
yeah, I was gonna tell you the underdog play I was gonna give you would be Sean Strickland's significant strikes over 120 is the one that I saw. I'm not
Yeah,
able to play that, but I mean, just the way he shoots and fights. I
like
mean, I'm a fan.
that was ridiculously low because his strikeout prop on DraftKings is like 153. Or I mean his significant strike prop is
Mhm.
153 on DraftKings, because I looked that up last night when I got back home from playing that, and I was
There
like,
you go. Like a
damn,
30 punch discount right there.
yeah, right.
It's a bit huge.
So yeah, so and then I'm trying to think. Do you have anything on the Tom Nolan fight?
Yes,
Or no?
Tom, the big train
Let me
from
see if I can find.
uh, Dana White Contender Series. He's just a hard hitter. Has some real KO power, and he's long. He's very lengthy. He has some reach on him, and I was watching him on the Contender Series, and just the name, the big train, Tom. I think it's Thomas Nolan. And I mean, I was a fan when he fought and when he knocked out the dude on the Contender Series. I was like, all right, that dude has some real knockout power. So that's why I have him by knockout. And I think I did also put to Poirier's little brother, but his KO prop that they had it at was just even money, really. So I don't know if I'll play that one. But what I have thought that I will do would be Cody Steele by KO, um, Wang by KO, Thomas Nolan by KO, and Justin Taft by KO. I think that I'm gonna do a round robin on them
Okay.
tomorrow when I go in. I'll probably put that in as a round robin
Yeah, it's not a
and
bad idea.
just see how that goes. I mean,
Now,
banking on 5 KOs is we both know that's very tough to come by.
oh yeah. But if you get two or three of them, like if you get 2 to 3 right, now you're going to start making a profit.
Right, and I think I mean one of these 2 or 3 actually can have a really good chance, and then I mean, anything can happen. They could go 5 for 5, or they could go 0 for 5. So
Right. And
nothing's a
then
lock. But
I do see that the line on the Tom Nolan has switched quite a bit. He's only a plus 100 now, I
Right.
think it was like more like a plus 130 beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Um, my only thinking is I'm gonna take a shot with if he's got a takedown prop and it's any if it's above a plus 300, I'm gonna take it because I think that's his easiest path. Because I think on the feet it could be kind of even, but Borshev sucks on the ground.
Yes.
So, but Tom Nolan has never really wrestled or grappled in any UFC fight that I've seen. So I don't even know if he'll try it, but if the value's there, I'm gonna at least throw a couple bucks on it.
Yeah. I don't hate that play at all. I mean, depending on how well his stand up game is when he punches him a couple of times, if he thinks he can hang with him, then he's gonna go ahead and he'll be fine. But if not, then you're gonna have to find a different way to beat this guy. So
And then these other two fights here, Jack Jenkins and Jack Matthews. I don't know how you. I mean,
I don't have any plays on those. I
I don't really have any plays on either one, but I do like the over on both of them. So I'm going to be using, especially the Jake Matthews fight because I think if he wins, it's going to be by decision. Um, so I'm definitely going to be playing that fight over 1.5 rounds as a parlay piece,
hmm
and then possibly even start the third round. I believe I looked it up, and I believe like 11 out of his last 14 UFC fights have at least started the third round. So there's a really good chance that that one goes long. And then Jenkins, I think there's a good chance that fight goes long also. Um, but
no,
I don't really have any plays on either one though.
I don't have any either. Same with me. I don't have plays on either one. But I did see that the Poirier's brother is fighting someone else.
Oh shoot, you're right.
So I mean, I don't know what happened. When I was going over my notes before we got on, I seen that and I was like, oh wait, who's this guy? So he has a different component opponent. So I don't think
So
that changes anything for him because he's
so
still
it's
got to
not
make
the
a
one
name.
we thought it was gonna be.
No, it's I don't exactly know who it is now, but they changed it to some guy. It's not Cody Hayden.
No, it's
Who-
here, let me pull it up real quick.
So that threw me for a loop, but I still think he's got to come out and make a name for himself, and maybe by his KO. But his KO prop was
Yeah,
only at even money.
it's Colby Thickness or whatever his name is.
Yeah, it was Cody Hayden.
Now it's Colby
Yeah, someone else, something
Thickness
else.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
and I mean, I believe it's the first. I believe it's their first UFC fight for both, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
I know it's. I know it is for Tafuria, obviously, but
he has fought in MMA before though, so his record outside of the UFC is 5-1, three TKOs and two subs. I did find that, but it was like back in like 2015 when he was fighting.
yeah, it is that Colby Thickness's debut though, also.
Yeah,
So, but so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Topuria by whatever method he decides. I think,
he's just
and
got to make a name for himself.
I used him as a parlay piece also. So what I did was I did this that Quillen Saul kid,
Hmm
Topuria and Wong all on the money line minus 119. I'll
That's a good play.
probably I'll probably get greedy and add one more thing to it to make it plus money, but this is what I would play is that right there straight up. You know, I think that's a solid 3-piece parlay. So
It
that's
is. The only one that I'm worried about is Wong. Hopefully she's got
and
to come
that's
back with
why
huge,
I got
huge
her
bounce
as the
back.
last leg because I figured if I put enough on it, then I figured I could hedge it if I really wanted to, but because that's what I do a lot of times is like
Right.
Like if I play like a plus 120 parlay and get the first two legs right, then the third leg sometimes I end up hedging. I know it's not
That's
the.
that's that's the smart way to do it if you know what
I
you're
mean,
doing. So I
I
mean,
mean, a lot of people don't agree with it, but because in the long run they say you'd be farther ahead, but it's how I like to do it. So
I'm always gonna be the one to still tell you the cash outs for the suckers, but at the same time, if I can hedge and still make money in the end, then I'll go ahead and be a sucker to do it too. So
right, yeah, yep. So I don't know if there's any others that we missed.
that's
Um,
all I got.
yeah, I'm trying to look at them. Yeah, I don't see any others. Is there any others you wanted to touch
Mm-mm.
base on, or
No, we touched on everything. I mean, trial and error. This is pretty fun. We just gotta do it again, and
yeah,
I'll send over some plays next time and have some banners for me
yeah, yeah?
because
So
it's
I'll
pretty
just go.
cool.
I'll just go over like I'll just go back over like what mine that kind of are.
Hmm.
It's going to be this three-piece parlay. Sell Kid, Topuri, and Wang at a plus 190 or a minus 119. Then I've got Zhang to start the third round in DDP over 3.5 rounds at a minus 116. Then I've got a single Wiley Zhang over 3.5 rounds at a minus 118.
I will be tailing this one.
All right, cool. And then DDP money line and over 2.5 at a plus 105. Those are my those are the plays that I've placed so far. And then I will be using Matthews somehow in a parlay piece on either over 1.5 or even to start the third round. So
And then I'll just rattle off mine. It will be Cody Steele by KO TKO plus 250, Tapoye by KO TKO plus 100, and C Wong by KO TKO plus 225. Nolan the Thomas Big Train by KO or TKO plus 200, and Justin Taft by KO or TKO. And then I'll also be co-signing and tailing the Wang over 3.5 rounds with you.
all right, cool.
Cool beans.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.